Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap, I've got a couple of cast iron repairs in, some machining and some welding, and I also do a little bit of plasma cutting. And as a viewer, gives us a toolbox. Every tire engineer, I have a look through that just to see exactly what's in there. There's some really nice bits and pieces. Some I'll be keeping, most of it I'll be giving away because I've already got pieces similar. There's quite a few more names come in for the monthly draw, which is going to be drawn next week on the 1st of the month. If you haven't entered the draw, all you need to do is send me an email. That's my email address up there, and all I need is your name, your full name, like John Mills, not just John. Your name gets written onto a little ticket, put it into here. If it's drawn out, you win a prize. Your name stops in here until it's drawn out, or until I'm not doing these anymore. Last week I touched on the subject of starting off a Patreon channel. I've had a lot of response, and the response is basically, yep, I should go for it. I've been doing a little bit of digging around and inquiring as to how things work. One thing it won't affect my YouTube channel as it is at the minute. You'll still get everything you're getting now completely free as normal. What the Patreon channel will give is not hidden videos. There'll be extra videos that you can watch on Patreon, but after a month they'll be released onto my normal channel, so basically everybody's going to score. I don't want to chase anybody away. I don't want to force anybody into pain. That's not the way it works, and that's not what this is all about. What it's all about is, if I can get some more funding from YouTube, I may be able to ease off at work a little bit more and spend more time doing what I want to do, which is videos. There's places I want to go in video. There's loads of projects I want to do. It's just time is the restricting factor at the minute. I'm not getting any younger, and the mystique of repairing motor cars is slowly but surely wearing off. But my interest in doing videos is as strong as ever, really is. Anyway, that's the way things are going at the minute. We'll see what happens in the next week or two. I've got a couple of interesting repair jobs I've turned up this week. The first one is a screw off a really old vise I'd like us to repair. It's already been repaired once. You can see it's been welded. It's gone all crystalline and snapped off. What I intend doing is, there's been a piece put in, put this in the lathe, square the end up and drill it and tap it, and put a stud and a spacer in, and then weld around them. To get it in the lathe, obviously I need this handle out, and I think they've been welded on. I can't, they won't screw off. So I'll just cut that off, take it apart, and I'll make a new end and weld a new end on, and nobody will know. So that's the first repair job to do. The second one is a straightforward broken casting. Cast iron, nice clean break. Goes together like that. What I'll do, I'll wire wheel it and I'll tack it 1, 2, 3 places, and then V it out from one side, weld it or braze it with silicon bronze, turn it over, and then V out into the braze repair and braze it again, and that should be a nice repair. It looks decent material, but it's hard to tell until you actually get into it what it's made of, or at least what type of cast iron it is. I think it's off an old Wadkin woodworking machine. There we go. That's the 2 little welding jobs we've got to do this week. Come all the way back in the sort of virgin material. That's all weld build up there. It doesn't like it at all, this, but it is going to part it off. Right, that's enough. Time for the hacksaw. Barely got a hold of it in the chuck here. I'll bring the camera on so you can see how I'm gripping it. The bell end, it is quite a nice bell end as well. Goes into there, and I'm just gripping right on the inside with the jaws. I'm going to cut it off with a hacksaw now, but I'll be able to drill and tap it in position, no problem at all. It's just side loads it doesn't like. before before you do any hacksaw, you always put the board in. Right, so I down to nice clean material. And this is going to be old, this really old. So I'll centre drill that, and I can put a nice chamfer on for welding. Put some threads in there and put a stud in. Probably 8mm will be enough. Give it a little bit of support just so I can put a bit weld prep onto it. Machining like cast iron, this not steel. I think I'll repair it with a silicon bronze, to tell you the truth. That's not steel, that's cast, that of some description. If I grinded a spark test which shows it is really old, so it could well be cast. And that's not. The smoke there wasn't coming out like cast iron, and it's quite shiny, so it's not sure what it is. Right, 6.8mm drill is a tapping drill for 8mm. And cast iron wouldn't just curly chips like that. Malleable liner, just not sure what they'll use in the old days for a screw for a chuck. Just enough grip on the top so it will spin when it bottoms out and not snap off. That'll do. Right, that's one end done. See the structure on the metal of the screw where it snapped, it's very crystalline. Whether that's a welded snap, I don't know. We'll square the end up. You've had a grinder on there. We'll square the end up, drill it and tap it, and basically go from there. Once again, I'll centre drill it, well prep it, then drill it and top it. seems very nice. I'm going to use a little bit of stainless to make the repair piece out of, and then I'm using, I can weld it with a stainless rod, like a rod that will weld stainless to metal, like a similar metal rod. Right, so I've drilled and tapped the screw, screwed an 8mm stud in, and the little spacer goes on, and we'll screw the ball end on. Tighten that on, and then I can weld that onto there, and that should be a decent repair. Be able to get it running nice and straight and true. In fact, it's not bad. And I will skim this once it's been welded. Now what I did with the handle, I cut the end off, turned it down, and I also drilled out the original end, so that'll go on there, and a little bit of welding there, and that'll be fine. The handle's slightly shorter, but it's not going to make a great lot of difference, I wouldn't have thought. And that should be a good repair. So the next thing is to go up to the other shed and weld that. I've made the little space out of stainless, and I'll weld it with a stainless or a dissimilar rod, because I've got no idea what this is, but it's obviously old. It's like a casting of some description. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's not cast iron, possibly, I don't know, malleable iron, no idea. The thread's interesting on the actual spindle part. If I can find my chuck key, there it is. It was a top of metalwork machine base. The thread on this is quite interesting. It'll just push through possibly a spring loaded nut that way, and then will tighten on the as you pull it in. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it's certainly old. I've never seen a thread like that before in a vise. Quite a nicely shaped thing, I like it. Right, that welded quite nicely. It's still reasonably true. Happy with that. So we'll just machine the highlights of that weld off, and then it should be going to run for another 100 years. I welded this with a stainless based rod. It's a similar metal rod designed for welding to similar metals. That's the stainless there, and that's the weld between whatever this is and the it's actually worn a tip away, but it says machined it down quite nicely. I'm going to settle for that. The weld's slightly lower here, but it's 100% better than it was. That'll work fine. I'll do a bit of light polishing and that's it done. Then I've got the handle to weld together. If it was a weld for a nuclear reactor, that would get knocked back. But I think a weld for a 100-year-old vice handle will be pretty good. It's also got an 8mm high tensile bolt through the middle of it, so it'll be plenty strong enough now. Right, that's the little ball end welded back on the handle. Really pleased with that. Real pleased with that repair.